Finishing touches, so you've got paint, now you've got appliances now. Carpet, $3 to $4, including pad at Home Depot or Lowe's. I think Home Depot and Lowe's is a good place to go for carpet. I don't have any problem with them. They'll install a whole room or a whole house for $97. I do have a carpet guide because I use the same carpet pretty much in every house, which is, again, something like appliances you can do. I have a mid-grade, and I have kind of an upper-grade appliances or carpet, and I'll do even a mix and a match. I'll do a basement in kind of my mid-grade, but then everything else I'll kind of do in the better stuff. I call my guy, he puts it in, it's the same color every single time. It just makes it a lot more convenient for you to do. You can clean carpet as well, too. I just did that one of my big houses. I cleaned the carpet. Instead of spending $7,000 on new carpet, I cleaned it for like $400, and it looks brand new. So clean carpet if you can. Lighting, don't forget to take in lighting in your budget as well, too. I always forget that, I think, every single time. Chandeliers are going to cost you $250 depending on dome lights if you're going to do that. I don't buy ceiling fans. I just don't like doing that. People are so picky about their ceiling fans. Just put a dome light. People are not going to pay you more because you put a ceiling fan in, so why spend the money? Just put a dome light in, let them pick whatever ceiling fan they want to do. But don't forget lighting. That's always important to do because it's going to cost you a few $1,000s at the end of the day.
What's you guys take on recessed lighting? I don't know about your area. It's
great.
About what, I'm sorry?
Recessed lighting.
Oh.
Lighting changes the whole room.
I try to put can lights in wherever I can. Yeah, can lights are going to run you, what we say, Mark, like $125 a can, basically, for...
Yeah, total for everything. It's really not as expensive as the effect.
No, the can itself is like $16, but yeah.
Yeah, and the effect is huge. It's way worth the $100 to put in as many as you can. You do that pretty early in the process,
Yeah.
But it's great.
I've actually been buying these LED lights. They're about $30 a piece.
Yep.
And they're actually dimmable now, which is great. And you can run them 24/7, and it costs you like $2 a year to run them. So I always add can LED lights in all the living rooms and stuff, and just brightening up a room like that is priceless.
Particularly, I think, in family rooms and like master bedrooms.
Absolutely.
I don't do it in kids' rooms and offices and things like that. But
living rooms, dining rooms.
I always think of when I have a showing at night, if they walk in and they can't turn on a light, because it's connected to a light switch that's supposed to be a lamp, how are they going to look at that master bedroom that I have, So make sure that you're putting in can lights there, or at least have a lamp or something that they can turn on for showings. Think about the buyer. What are they going to do? They're not going to be too happy if they can't see that room at night. You will have showings at night, obviously. So,
a lot of times, the homes that, we're looking at, these dated homes that have run its cycle and its course, the way homes were built, you had the formal dining, the formal living, the this room, the that room, and everything was broken up. So all of a sudden, when we understand the whole open concept, right? Everyone wants the open concept where the kitchen now engages with the living area because we work so much more and people gather around the kitchen. So we kind of blend the spaces. Well, when you take that wall out and you have this big open room, normally what you had was you had this light fixture hanging in one room, a light fixture hanging in another room. You kind of take that sheetrock out and you run your recessed lights,
right,
in that, and now it changes the whole look of the room. And now they like it a lot more. They're going to want to buy it.
Yep.
So.
Finishing touches. Again, we are in the Midwest, with the exception of Michael, obviously, but for us, the winters are tough, man. Our houses look ugly on the outside. There's only so much we can do. We can't plant new flowers. We can't, grass is all gross. There's, mud everywhere. There's only so much we can do. Fortunately for me, I had a couple houses that I had to paint. We had a couple days, like in the 40s. I got out there and we painted houses. That's what we did. So if you can plan ahead. Paint houses if you can. But if you're anywhere where it's cold, you can't paint much lower than about 40 degrees. After that, it will not stick. I had a paint that was like 32 degrees. We bought that paint. It's a little more expensive, but we got it done and it looks great. So plan ahead for that. But curb appeal is so important, right? That's the first thing that somebody does when they pull up to your house. Does it look nice? Do they even want to go into your house? If they don't even want to go in, your inside looks fantastic, but your outside looks like, it's a drug dealer's house. They're not going to buy it. They're just not going to even want to go in, and you've lost a buyer right there. And it doesn't take much to bring that house sort of back to life. We've already talked about the gutters and painting and doing all that, putting on a new front door. I love putting on red front doors. Red sells. I'm telling you that right now. If it matches or even comes close to matching, put a red door on it because people love that. You're saying, oh, okay.
Gives it that pop.
Yeah, red doors. $200 on mulch. Spend your money on a couple yards of mulch, 4 or 5 yards of mulch. Maybe it's going to run you $400, something like that. Spread it around. Hire a guy, $10 an hour. Spread around your mulch. New mulch goes a long way, and you only have to plant then a couple bushes here and there. But new mulch actually matters more than I think new bushes. People kind of want to do their own landscaping anyway. Just give it some life. If you've got a very flat front with nothing in front of it, you need to give it some depth. Put some bushes on there. Give it some new mulch. Expand the beds a little bit. $1,500 for to budget for a house, for an average size house. Really not that much money, but take that into account. Pools are kind of the big thing. If you're in a climate that Florida, everybody has a pool. California, everybody has a pool. In Illinois, nobody wants a pool, right? We can only swim 3 months out of the year. For us, they're kind of a negative. I don't buy houses that have pools because they're harder for me to sell. If you're in Florida, yeah, you're looking for a pool. Budget for having to replace the liner or the pump or whatever it may be, but budget for that as well too, because don't think you can just ignore that pool and say, well, pool sold as is. Buyers don't do as is when you rehab a house. That just spells disaster. So
they're going to expect the pool to be a beautiful environment.
Yeah, you can't do something, you can't rehab 95% and quit at 5% and say, well, kind of like the video, the guy didn't quit until he got in the end zone. You can't rehab that way either. You've got to go all in or don't do it at all. Mark, we don't put on big decks. We don't really do brick paver patios or anything like that.
No, only if there's already a deck and maybe it needs some work, maybe it needs new decking, but the foundation of the deck is in good shape. It's always worth freshening it up. If it's a total disaster, you might as well just tear it off.